All right, for those just tuning in, we just wrapped up our matchup. The Necrons Ghost Arcs versus the Phobos family.
The family of Phobos, absolutely.
Family of Phobos. Final score, Phobos, Space Marines, DeathWatch, 84 to a Necrons 69. All right, so Lane, I know this is your next GT competitive list here.
Absolutely.
This is the next thing, 5-0, next GT right here. Ready? So things you might have liked. Let's go there. Let's go with the positive first. What's something you liked?
Reavers are good. Reavers led by a captain or led by a lieutenant or a nice little close combat piece because they get a bunch of attacks. AP1. They can kind of tangle with. They can tangle with skirmishing units, that kind of thing. And because they're all precision, they can precision out characters sometimes, as long as they're not too durable. Obviously, just about the strength 4 AP1 attacks, but. No, they were pretty useful. Their battle shock is pretty handy because it prevented your, when they started the fight phase. Started the fight phase, everybody in engagement range has to take a battle shock at -1. Your Overlord failed, so he was not able to come back with the resurrect strat you have.
Yeah, and that was the whole plan. Is I was going to bring him back, and then have him get half his wounds, heal, and then be able to charge in there. And he honestly could have cleaned up a good chunk of the stuff over there. 4 attacks that are flat 2 damage, and with his toughness and just. He could have cleared a lot of the infantry out of there. So I desperately needed him. Him going down, I lost that flank entirely.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, like other things, the Invictus Warsuits in this matchup, there just wasn't a threat to them. I mean, I can see why you don't normally run them. Not a lot. It's one of those things that's like Marines need that Oath of Moment. And if they don't have that, even with the Oath of Moment, there wasn't really anything too impressive from them. Reavers were cool. The suppressors did a lot. There was a lot of times you were finding the Oath of Moment target on a Ghost Arc and putting quite a bit into them.
Yeah, I mean, they're on strength 8, so they're winning you on 5s, your Ghost Arcs on 5s. So not super impressive, but they can put out a volume of shots. Again, they need the Oath because they're naturally hitting on 4s if they moved. But in this detachment, you can give them the strat that gives them +1 to hit and +1 AP. So when they're strength 8, AP2, 2 damage apiece, they'll get some shots through and do some work and pick up some infantry. So, yeah, the Invictors actually did pretty well into your infantry squads. They're not real strong. In combat, they've got 5 attacks that are strength 14, AP2, flat 3 damage, which kind of sounds nice, but you're going to miss a couple hits, miss a wound, and then make some saves, and it's not going to do a whole lot. But they were consistently putting work into your warriors, putting the heat on them. The incendiary cannon it's strength 6, D6 +3 torrent shots, AP1 ignoring cover, just 1 damage, but it's enough to chew through some small squads. So they kind of skirmish well. They just don't punch up well, even with the high strength on their fists. I only got to use the shoot back ability on it once in this game because they're mostly tied up in combat for most of the game, and you can't shoot out of combat when it's not your turn because big guns never tire only applies to your shooting phase.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, they weren't too bad. It's kind of neat that they have a scout move of 8 inches and a move of 8 inches. They actually have turn 1 threat where they can go out and punch things, but they're much less durable than most dreadnoughts because they're only T8 with a 3-up armor. At 130 points, they're kind of cheap, but it doesn't seem like for 130 points you can do some more interesting things. But yeah, the Spectruses are good. This is actually a bad matchup for the Spectruses with the Librarians because you can just turn 1, you can just move forward with a bunch of transports, disembark guys. Now they're all within 12 inches. So I don't even get my it was definitely a counter into the hey, you can't shoot me if you're within 12. And DJ's like, well, what if I go first, move 10, disembark 3, and now I'm within 12?
And you're like, well, I guess that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
and that's what I went for.
Yeah,
but. And we'll go kind of in a negative on my side of it. The Warriors, I kind of figured, and I was concerned about it ahead of time, and I think it is definitely a reason people don't run the Warriors out of the Ghost Arc. Just too frail. Just a 10-man, too frail. A couple times that even when I had that push where I was like, okay, this squad is going to survive and that stuff, losing the model, losing that last Warrior, that's it. That it's not there. There's a lot of other reanimation tech that I didn't have as well that would kind of boost. The Necron Warriors losing the better reanimation, it just being D3 reroll. The reroll is nice when you have other abilities that you stack because then it's like, oh, here's a reanimator. Oh, here's the orb. Oh, here's this, here's that. it builds upon it. Today we only had the strat, one orb, which failed, and the reanimator. So there was, or the barge. So we didn't have as many targets, and then the squad only being 10 dudes, toughness 4, they just got shattered to the wind real quick.
Yeah, there was a couple of times in a Victor Warsuit just picked them up and shooting or something where it's just like it shouldn't. A 20-man would be able to use your abilities a lot better than a 10-man.
It would. It would. And I feel like that's the direction I want to go with it, but I didn't want to start off with that. I wanted to play around with the units coming out of the transport, seeing what type of play there. I did like, the Plasmancers with the 10-mans. That might be something I look at with a couple, just having those squads pop out and be able to go boom and do this, boom and do that. That was nice. But yeah, the 20-mans is going to be a different ballgame. And that's really kind of what I want to look at. And look at the fact that Ghost Arcs can carry infantry character, a Necron warrior unit, or an infantry character. So there's a couple of options there that could be interesting. We're not going to go into too much detail with that, but I got a couple interesting ideas on how to utilize that to some cheesy and cheeky plays. So definitely that.
Can't wait.
I know, you'll be so excited. But then the positive, Ghost Arcs. I liked them a lot. They were durable. They were able to still do damage. They just they did well.
Yeah, only toughness 9, which for most anti-tank shooting is not very tough. But the fact that they have a 4-up invuln, how many wounds do they have? Like
14.
Yeah, like the 4-up invuln with 14 wounds. That's just a lot to choose.
That's armature levels, isn't it?
Yeah, they're 2/9, 14 wounds. They have a 5-up invuln to shooting, so you're actually more durable than they are. And the fact that they're just big, which means they block. You can physically block things, and also block out deep strikes, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I thought they were pretty good.
I look forward to doing it again. So, is there anything from your list right now that you would consider bouncing? Is there anything for your list right now? Stop it. That you would consider bouncing into a competitive list? Is there anything that impressed you today? I guess that's where I'm at.
For those of you who wanted the all Phobos DeathWatch, we did it. We won, and that's what we'll say. We should enjoy this because you're probably never going to see it on this channel again. It's obviously fun to play some silly fun lists, which is what we did today. No, the Spectres are still not good for what they do. They should be much cheaper, or even the fact all the bolters have lethals in strength 5 and AP 1 because they're DeathWatch versions of their bolters. They're better. It's just not enough to punch up. The Las Fusel's strength 9 is just not enough to punch up into things. The D6 damage is really swinging on them. So suppressors are all right. They 3 shots a piece at strength 8, AP 1, 2 damage. Into the Oath target, they can do some work into infantry. But Reavers are good. They have a lot of shenanigans with OC and battle shocks. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that I would run into in a competitive list with this. What do you think? I mean, was there anything you would be worried about from this army in a competitive list? Nope.
The Reavers.
Yeah.
The Reavers. The Reavers. They did well. But aside from that, no, not really. Nothing there. I mean, 2 wound Marines don't really scare as much as 1 wound Necrons don't really scare. So yeah, not really. One thing that I do want to throw in there, because like you mentioned, it was a fun game. There's only one thing I was disappointed about. Yeah, your dice hit me hard early. Okay, so whatever. That happens. I mess with Emotech. I really wanted him to do more. I really wanted to pick him up.
He finished off an Invictor.
He did. And a librarian, and he beat up a squad. You kind of see that's a lot of people play Emotech in that fashion, where he kind of hangs on the back home field objective. And for the amount of guns that he has and the damage output, I mean, he did well to hold my home field objective down, and I could see him doing that.
You used all your CP too. So you used all the CP he gave me.
I did use all the CP he gave me. But yeah, other than that, like, I wanted to try and I messed up thinking that I could pick him up and just bomb him in there and just lightning bolts all over the place. Nope, couldn't do that. So I had to really wait until you started dedicating into me to be able to fire up the storm. And did 9 mortal wounds off it. I'll take that. Blew up a warsuit. Got it. I'll take that. So there was some there. But I was disappointed because I kind of was hoping to do more with him and have him kind of more mobile. And then as I looked over the abilities and was looking at stuff, I was like, wow, This is actually not anywhere near as mobile as I thought. First, I had to keep him on the board to get the CP, so I couldn't even veil him. And second, even if I did veil him, I couldn't trigger his ability until the command phase. So it was just like, oh, this is not going to work out the way I planned.
Yeah, the timing's not right on a couple of those things.
No, Immortals did, but it was funny. Those 5 Immortals did amazing. Those 5 Immortals were just shooting everything and just blasting everything, going, oh, here, we got this, boss. So, I mean, Immortals are really good. And I've always said they're really good. I like them a lot. I run them out of the obeisance a lot. But yeah, well, I definitely want to mess with the Ghost Arcs a little more and some Warriors. I think that the Ghost Arcs really, I was very happy with what they did today. So any closing thoughts on the Phobos family list that we got to see here? We were graced with on the channel.
We had fun today, guys. I got to use this whole list that I put together a whole edition ago, because I got to use all these models I have for some reason, all built and painted, based and ready to go. So I was glad to put them on the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
And I added 4 Ghost Arcs to my collection after getting them, gathering them, and building them in 2 days, less than 2 days. So now I have Ghost Arcs to work on. So I think it's time to call it a night. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.